Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Home Built Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live. I hope all of you are having an awesome day. I'm trying something different here. I'm just trying to see if I can get it to work so I can understand things a little bit different. I'm bringing the comments up on the laptop. At least I'm going to try to. Although I think I'll still read them off of here because that's what I like. I don't have to look away. What's up, everyone? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Sam's here. Sam says hello. Hey, dude's here. What's up? Sam says, Jeff's just finding his beanie. Yeah, Sam, I know you say that in joking manner, but sadly enough, we're not that far away. I can already feel a little bit of a change in the weather. There's a little bit of a fall feel once in a while, and I don't like to admit it. Hair Dude says in his coffee, yes. Gotta get the coffee. Cheers, everyone. Time Surfing Alien says, Hair Dude. And Sam, how's it going? How's it hanging? Right on. Time Surfing Alien, what's going on? Hair Dude says, oh, Time Surfing, doing well. Hope you are too. Right on. Well, twins. We have twins. Look at that. Brand new twins. Time Surfing says it's just warming up here in Bama. Really? It's yeah, we're coming to the end. I hate to say it. I mean, it's still going to be nice for a while, but I can feel change. Once we get into August, I've seen snow in August. Not any accumulation, but I have seen snow in August. Yeah, I don't even like to think about it. Definitely September. It's not at all uncommon in September. Again, not any sort of accumulation, but it can still happen. Our season is so short here. It's crazy. I heard it says, sorry, Jeff, I think we started without you. Man, that is fine. Not a problem. I want everyone to be able to just hang out. If I'm not here, then just hang out anyway. That's kind of cool, though, that maybe I didn't quite understand how that works. As long as I have it scheduled, you can tune in and do stuff, I guess, which is kind of cool because maybe I'll just schedule them all the time and everyone can just hang out. Wouldn't quite be the same, but still. And Tony's here. Tony says, morning, sunshine. What's going on, Tony? Good morning. Robert says, howdy, people. There's Dastardly Dave. What's up, all? What's up, Dave? Right on. Dave, you made it all back from the guitar build challenge. Right on. We want a little more details on that. I know you sent me some. We want to hear a little bit about it. Time Surfing Alien says 2 seasons in Bama, summer and second summer. Sounds kind of like ours here, only not summer and second summer. We have summer, which is very short, and then we have pre-winter, winter, in post-winter, which that's what it seems like. Our spring is like a week long, it feels like. Corey's here. Corey says, what up? What's up, Corey? And Robert says, I wouldn't mind some snow. Really tired of 100+ temperatures. Yeah, we haven't had that in, we've been mid-80s here during the day for a very short time. We've kind of been in a rainy bit, although we haven't gotten much rain here. It seems like in the afternoons the clouds come in and it cools everything off. So, I don't know. Hair Dude's not upset. He says, I can already feel it getting warmer. Not complaining. Yep, I'm already thinking about getting the heaters prepped and ready to go for the cold weather, which sounds terrible. I need to Do any of you have experience with like the E-Spar kind of diesel heaters? I have one of those, I got to go through and give it and service it. But I haven't done that before, so I got to do a little bit of research and check the manual and see what all's in there. So I got to get some parts ordered up and get that thing serviced and ready for the fall. So that's coming up. Tony says hot and humid on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Right on. Don't get overheated. Time Surfing says, I'm 98 miles from the Gulf, Tony. Right on. Maybe you guys are close. And David's here from Italy. Right on. Welcome. How's everything going in Italy? Welcome to the program. Welcome to Homebuilt Workshop. Right on. And Javon's here. Says, hey, from Jamaica. What state are you in? Well, when I was in South Dakota, in September, I was freezing to death. Yeah, that's probably a bit of a climate change, or climate change. I am in the state of Colorado, so South Dakota's a little more north from us, east. So yeah, I bet that was a bit of a change. But yeah, welcome. I bet it's toasty in Jamaica. Is it toasty down there? Right on. Hope you're doing good. Dastardly Dave with some updates on the Texas Toast Guitar Contest. Says the contest had 10 guitars. All were 100 ounces, plus or minus 1 ounce. A lot of quality build. Wow, I was the only one with a tremolo. Yeah, nice. And you even added the extra tremolo weight and still got in there. Nice. That's awesome. Tony says Waveland Bay, St. Louis. I'm not sure where that's at, but Time Surfing, I'm guessing that's going to give you a little bit of information. Robert says, I've clicked the like button. Have you? I like it. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button. We'll tell the algorithms, how whatever that deal is, that this is the place to hang out. I'm trying to bring up the live on here, and for some reason, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Does that work? I don't want sound though. No, don't give me any sound. Maybe I shouldn't do that. It's going to take the my bandwidth, and it's fine. It's fine. I don't want to do that anyway. I want to be able to look at all of you. Let's see. Time Surfing says my family's originally from Mississippi. My dad's from Pontotoc. Pontotoc? Probably said that wrong, but Corey says you need a diesel mechanic for the diesel heaters because you got to check the glow plugs on them to make sure they're okay and check the fuel lines. Right on, Corey. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident in going in there and removing the glow pin. I think that's what they call it, the glow pin. If I need to do any of that, I have, I've read some service materials on that, but I just got to give it a service, go through and probably clean everything out. Right at the end of spring, the last, I don't know, few weeks from where I really needed to run some heat, it actually quit firing. It wouldn't start up. So I just want to go through and service it, change there's a little filters and stuff in there. And I want to go through that whole thing, but I'm pretty sure I can go through it and get it taken care of. I do have a cousin who's a diesel mechanic, and I could always pick his brain. He's actually the one who gave me this thing. So if I have any issues, I can get a hold of him. Harry Dude says, for workshop heating, I've been using a Mr. Heater portable buddy camping heater with what you would call a propane bottle. Works well in a small space. I have something similar. It's not the buddy heater, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And I've thought about trying one of those, getting one of those. I almost think that might work better than the. I also use a tank top heater, one of those deals that, you know, you just fasten to the top of the propane tank, the 20-pound, well, I guess probably anything really, but I use 20-pound cylinders. It seems to work fine. You know, not something you really want to leave unattended, I don't think, but it works pretty good. I use that in combination with the diesel heater to get the temperature up. Of course, the diesel heater is kind of loud because it's got a fan that blasts. So if I'm doing videos and things, I have to shut that off. And I'd like to shut them both off, but sometimes I do leave the propane one on, and you can hear it a little bit in the videos. You know, kind of that weird hiss, but it works pretty good. I don't have any sort of permanent type heating system installed in here, and so we just have to make do with what we can make do with. Time servants Duffin. Tony says a daughter lives in Pontotoc. Javon says it's 90 right now, 32 Celsius, with 70% humidity, chilling in the shade. Sounds like a perfect spot to be with some sort of a cold drink. Not that this is a cold drink, but sounds like a good time. Time servant says, yeah, I wasn't sure I spelled it right, Tony. And Tony says, I have a friend that lives somewhere around Dolphin. Right on. Paul's here. Paul, what's going on? Paul says, good morning, all. Glad to see that proper base up there beside the imposter. They look great, Jeff. I'm going to get the proper one. This is the proper one. The other one's the imposter. So I know exactly what you're talking about, Paul. Yes. The subtonics. We have subtonic twins. Let's jump into that for a minute. What do you think? I'm digging them. I am really liking them. I am not a bass player, like I said in the video, but I've been having fun. Just playing this thing and trying to understand the bass stuff. I've never owned a left-handed bass. I've owned a right-handed bass, or two maybe, at different times that were, the strings were, it was strung lefty, played upside down, but I've never had a proper lefty bass, and now I do, and I am liking it. These turned out really well. I'm really happy with them. I like pretty much everything about it. The design, the scale length, everything. These are a 32-inch scale length, so I guess, I don't know, do they call that a mid-scale or something? That's what I heard somebody call it. I'm really liking them, and a little bit more work to do on the setup. I'm just taking my time, going slow, playing it a bit, and just kind of going from there. I spent most of the day yesterday, not most of the day, probably half the day, doing work, fine-tuning setups on both of these. I've got all the fretwork done on the righty, leveled, crowned, all that stuff. I still have not leveled this one yet. I've just been playing with it, but I do need to do the fretwork on it. Kind of putting that off because it's my least favorite part of a guitar build. But yeah, I'm digging them. And then we got this other backwards one here, the righty. If I can get it without dropping it on the floor, I gotta be careful because it hits the ceiling if I'm not paying attention. I think the action's a little low on this one yet. Gotta figure that out. Like you probably can't even hear that. But yes, these came out great. This one in particular, like I mentioned in the build video, if you haven't seen the build video, make sure you go back. It came out this past Sunday. The final video in this where I got it all together. The lefty I've got wired up very similar to a guitar, really, basically how I would wire a guitar. where I have a volume, a tone, and then a three-way selector switch to switch between pickups. This one I wired a little bit different. This one I wired exactly like the wiring diagram that came with the pickups. So we have a master volume for both, not master. I have a separate volume, so we got neck pickup volume, bridge pickup volume, and then a master tone control on this one. So a little bit more, you know, you can do some blending and that sort of thing. Just followed the schematic that came with the pickups. So I think, yeah, this one, since I've set it up, I got to bring the truss rod back. That's why the action feels a little weird. I haven't straightened it back out. So a little bit of work to do yet. Like I said, I've taken my time, just working my way through the setup. This one, the reason I made two, and I don't think this is one that I've kind of talked about. I did mention that I like to make the first one a lefty. That way, you know, I can play it, I can feel, you know, how everything works. But I made a righty as well because I want people to try this thing out. I want people to be playing it. I want to get some feedback from others that do play bass. You know, what they like, what they don't like. I just want to, I want that feedback. I want to know, do I need to make changes? Is everything, you know, oh, no wonder. Guess I forgot to tighten the knob. Let me grab that. Lost my knob. But yeah, I want to get feedback from people basically on the same model, that feedback from people that know more about bass playing than I do. I can play it and say, yes, it feels comfortable, it feels, you know, everything feels okay, but I don't play bass all the time. So that's why we did two. I want to get some, like I said, some feedback, and then this thing will probably get listed up on the website once I get it. Once I get some people to play it, try it out. At least that's the plan. That'll be for sale. All right, going back to comments. Don't worry, I didn't forget you guys. Drizzy Guitars. Boom. What's up? Good morning. Now Sam says, for Cadbury's UK food, try the British Pantry in Colorado Ave. Oh, I've heard about that, actually. There's also supposed to be a restaurant somewhere. Maybe the same thing, I'm not sure. Like a British type of restaurant that I kind of want to try sometime. I've heard their fish and chips are quite good. Time Surfing says, yeah, Tony, not in Dotham. I'm around Dotham, little town called Daleville. Right on. Time Surfing says, a mirror image. He says, right. Yes, I think that's kind of cool. Their mirror image. Robert says, currently 89, but feels like 96. 57% humidity. Woo! I think I woke up to 57 degrees this morning. I think we're approaching 67 now. Paul says, notice the lefty has less knobs. Get that extra knob is too confusing. It is. It's too confusing for me. How about that? No, like I said in the video, I don't need a lot of options. You've seen those basses that have 6, 8, 10. I mean, it's just the whole thing is knobs and switches and dials and, you know, 20 position selectors and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying that those are not useful, because, you know, to a working musician, I get it. You know, a working bass player who needs to have all those options, I totally understand. That's not me. I want a volume, I want a tone, and I want to be able to select the pickups. I have a guitar that I wired very similar to that, where I can blend in the different pickups, and I never liked it. It's just me. I'm not saying that it's not useful. It's just not me. My instruments, honestly, when I'm playing live, I don't need anything. I don't switch pickups. I play the bridge pickup. exclusively, literally. That is all I play. Bridge pickup, and I don't need, like, I could wire the pickup straight to the output jack and it would not bother me one bit. But not everybody's like that. And that's why I did this one with a little bit more, minus the missing knob, with a little bit more, I don't know, traditional, or I don't know what you'd call it, with the blending the pickups and stuff. But for mine specifically, very simple. That's all I need. But I do acknowledge the fact that I'm just one person. That's not everybody. But yeah, that's why I decided to do them different. I thought that since the righty is eventually going to be for sale, I figured that more bass players probably would like that better than the old selector switch, which is what I like. So it's kind of the cool thing when you're building something that is going to be for yourself. You get to do whatever you want. Sam says YouTube won't let anyone type other websites. They deem it as spam. Yes, you cannot post. You can post the website, but it will not be a link. Paul says they're awesome looking builds. I don't mind fretwork. I hate complex wiring. I'm not a fan of either, really. Complex wiring. Yeah. I mentioned the bases with a dozen knobs on there. That's got to be a nightmare. That sounds terrible. I don't even like wiring guitars with like a 5-way switch. That sounds well, I mean, I've done it. I can't imagine those super switches where you have 100 options, which I've wired those before too, but I don't like it. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the fretwork. I kind of think that my dislike for the fretwork really comes from I think anyway that you're right at the end of the build, right? The guitar's pretty much done, but now you've got to spend a couple hours doing all this, taping the fretboard and leveling and crowning and polishing. And I don't know about all of you, I always end up with some random scratch that just does not seem like it'll go away. You guys ever run into that? And I had it on this one too. You level, to I think I leveled with 600 grit, so very fine. Then you crown it, and then I sand lightly to remove more and more of the marks. And then when it comes to polishing, poof, now you can see a little scratch. Ugh. So I go back and I resand everything, polish again, poof, another little scratch pops up. Ugh, it drives me crazy. And it's just, I think that's what it is. I want to just play the guitar. And that's what I did with this one. I haven't done the fretwork yet on the lefty. I'll get to it eventually, but I've just been having fun with it. But if anybody has any sort of tips to maybe help avoid the random scratches that I don't know where they come from, or at least confirm that I'm not the only one that ever experiences that. Corey says, the one thing about diesel fuel, you can smoke around it and it will not explode like gasoline does. Well, there you go. I mean, I don't want to do that either way, I guess. But Javon says, those are really good looking basses. Love the wood grain. Yeah, thank you, Javon. This is made out of elm. What I know is Siberian elm. I believe they are also known as Chinese elm. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think Chinese elm and Siberian elm are the same thing. The thing that is pretty cool to me is that these things, this log right here specifically, was a tree here where I live, and it had died actually several years ago, and it was standing. Well, June, maybe the end of May this year, we had some strong winds, and it blew it, and it fell over, and it landed on one of the fences. So I went out and I got it, I sliced it up, all the limbs and things, and dragged the log out, and I milled that up into slabs with my chainsaw mill. Um, Shortly, let's see, what was that? Right at the end of June, pretty much, before we went out of town for a few days. And now it's now it's a guitar. So I think it's pretty cool. Right here from the property where I live, and now it's a bass. Siberian elm. I love this look. I've used elm for a lot of things, and I've really come to like the color. Not quite as brown as walnut, but I just like this. I like that tone, that brown tone. If you compare it to maple, I think the contrast is cool. There's a definite contrast. Just cool looking stuff. I really like using elm for things. And I've got some more pieces of elm, and I do want to try at some point to build an acoustic, back and sides out of elm. I think that would be awesome. So that's one of my goals at some point. Paul says, I'd love to help, but I never played bass. I was a catcher. I see what you did there. Robert says, both basses look good. I did watch the video this past weekend. Sounded good. Yes, I wish that I could play more on the bass. But like I said, I'm not a bass player. I got to spend some time, do some learning, and figure out how to actually do stuff. I can play bass, for a few songs, enough to get by. I could stand in for a cover band for like 3 songs. Time Servant says, by the way, it's Do. Then Do. Oh, Dothan? Anyway, sorry. I'm probably messing it all up. My bad. 77 Rockets, what's up? Good morning. It says, glad I'm catching you live. Just wanted to stop to say hi. Right on. Hope you are doing good. Right on, Rockets. 77 Rockets. And Sam coming in with his super chat. Right on, Sam. Sam says for UK Cadbury's and some UK groceries at the British Pantry. This is the best I can do. This chocolate will melt by the time it reaches you. At least you can get them fresh. I can focus on just the box then. Sorry for the delay. Sam, don't apologize. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We'll have to get down there and check it out. Definitely. Much appreciated. Right on. Heritage says, super switches don't bother me. Had to rewire a Parker Fly with switching and blending options with regular pickups and piezo bridge saddles to stereo output jack. That tested me, but got it done. Yeah, that sounds like a lot. I have somewhere. It's a Parker, what is that? P47, P74, P something. Not quite a Fly, but it's a Parker. A friend of mine gave it to me. It's had a broken neck, and all kinds of disastrous things done to it. And I've had it for a couple years. It's been sitting around, and I've been thinking about going through and doing a restoration on it. Why? I don't know. It's not a guitar that it's a righty, so it's not one for me anyway. But I don't know. It's just been something I've been thinking about. But it's got the piezo saddles. But I think there was something wrong with it. I can't remember what that was now. I'd have to dig it back out. But I know it has piezo in there. I did patch up some of the wiring that had been hacked and sliced on and got some of it fixed. But that is something that I've been considering doing. I was thinking about making a new neck for it because this one's pretty bad. They have that weird skinny headstock thing. Well, that at some point had been snapped. I don't know why, because it's like that wide. And been thinking about making a new one. I don't know. I might at some point. But you mentioned Parker, and yeah, that reminded me of it. I want to say it's a P47. some reason, that's what's sticking in my brain. But I could be wrong on that. And Jimmer's here. Jimmer, what's up, man? Good morning. Jim says, lefties are wrong and righties are right. No. Poor lefties. Now, Paul would agree. It's okay. It's okay, lefty. Paul says, I put all my guitars on t-shirt rags when I'm putting components on or soldering, try to prevent scratches. Yes, I use old bath towels. I have several of them. The workbench, like my setup bench, which is actually inside the house, I've got an old bath towel on there. And the bench has a carpet on the top, but on top of that, I also put the old towels. And mainly because I found that, when you just have carpet and you can't really take it off, because you have other stuff sitting on there, you get little things, wire clippings and just little things that can scratch. I like having the towel separately on there because when I'm done, I can just grab the towel and throw it in the wash, and I don't have to disturb everything else on the bench. So that's been working out good for me. I also out here, as you've seen in several videos, when I'm working on something, I'll just lay a towel out, and it helps protect stuff. So I kind of do the same thing. I also have, just different rags. And like you said, Paul, I'll just lay it on something if I need to protect it, especially when soldering. Because I don't know about you, if you ever had a drop of solder somehow drop off your soldering iron and bloop, right, lands right on a finish. That's the worst. Thankfully, I've only done that to my guitars. But I have had that happen. So now, yeah, I try to put something down on there to protect it. Paul says, my most complex was a GGBO 23 guitar. Had 2 volume, push-pull pots, 1 volume, and a momentary kill switch on it with a 3-way switch in it. Robert says, kind of a creamed coffee color. Yes, it is kind of. Sort of. A little darker. Probably can't see that. It is very similar. And Paul, back to your comment there. Yeah, that does sound a little bit less than fun. Little less than fun. I'm trying to think the most complex I ever did. I have done some push-pull things. I can't remember what guitar that was even on. I also have some of my gigging guitars that I used to play quite a lot when I had the metal band. That one of them has a couple mini switches. One of them is a kill. The other one has, let's see, I think I got 3 different caps in there, capacitors, so that I could play around with different tones. I never used it. Again, like I said, once I found the sound that I liked, I don't switch anything. So, but there was a time when I was trying to add different things to it. So, little mini switches, all kinds of stuff. And I think 2 guitars I have. Jimmer says, what's up? Maseratis and Jeeps don't mix. Yes, dude, that's crazy. That is crazy. So apparently Jim's got a Jeep of some sort, newer Jeep, and it did a software update or something, and when it was powered up, the display screen came up saying it was Maserati. What? Hackers? Some weird software issue? That is, I've never heard of anything like that. That is just crazy. How wild. I don't even know. That's just crazy. Hopefully the dealer gets it sorted out, because that sounds bad. Sam says, Avoid P45. Here, it means you're fired. Oh, I don't need a P45. Heritage says, I use the Music Nomad rubber mats for guitar setups. Easy enough to keep clean. I've seen those, and I have thought about trying those out because, or some sort of a mat anyway. I think that'd be kind of cool. I might have to look into those. Sam says, has anyone else experienced YouTube acting weirdly lately, i.e. the inability to type while using translation tool while typing to automatically send mid-typing before you've completed typing? I have not. I don't think I've ever even used the translation tool, to be quite honest. So I have no insight on that. Robert says, yes, speaking of chocolate melting, I ordered a couple of packages of candy called Maltesers. Maltesers? I don't know how you say that. They're like the U.S. version of Whoppers. When they arrived, they'd all melted together into a mass. Well, like the U.S. version of Whoppers? I thought Whoppers were U.S. But a melted glob of Whoppers? I mean, that sounds kind of good to me because I like Whoppers. Just pick it up and just take a bite out of it. I don't see a problem with that. Sam says, please smash the like button. Well, you don't have to smash the poor like button. Just gently click it. Just click. There you go. Paul says, gotta go. Have a great week. Well, Paul, glad you could tune in. And you have a great week, too. Right on. Right on. Sam says, Maltesers. Maltesers? Huh. However you say it, it sounds good. Even a melted glob. Maybe a little harder to eat, but... So, that's what I've been working on. What are you all working on? What sort of projects are on your workbench? And, well, what's next for the workbench around here? Heritage says, I remember Maltesers. We have them here in Australia. I don't think I've ever heard of them, but they sound delicious. If they're like Whoppers, this sounds quite tasty. KK's here. What's up? KK says, hello from Greece. Jeff, my friend, amazing job. I'm jealous. Hope you're all well, because here we are roasting. Not fighting fire. Oh, and fighting fires. Take care, and I hope to have a base from you at home soon. They're all done, my friend. Well, mostly done. A little bit of setup work, some fine-tuning. But yeah, they are all assembled and playing at the moment. I hope you're staying cool over there in Greece. I know we're doing all right over here. We're not roasting at the moment. So, as you can tell, with a sweater on. Right on, KK. Hope you're doing good. Tell everyone hi over in Greece from us here at Homebell Workshop. Robert says, yeah, to eat them, I had to put it in the refrigerator to make it not a total mess. Sam says, are Maltesers by Cadbury? I forget. I have no idea. Jim says, Chrysler Fiat owns Maserati. I did not know that. Apparently some glitch with the automatic software updates. It's a new Grand Cherokee L. They were well aware of the issue. Nothing dashboard-wise. Can't get in. Jeez. Till the 21st, everyone is overbooked, including us. Man, that's crazy. Robert says, Maltesers are the British version. Oh, okay. And Michael's here. Michael says, I'm late for the show. But hey, how's it going, Jeff? Man, it is going good. We're doing good. How are you doing? I hope you're doing awesome. Yeah, just sitting here with my two new friends. Right on. But yeah, so what are you guys working on? We know Jim's working on a Jeep Maserati thing. What's next here at the shop? Well, that's what's next. Since I've got these bases finished up, I spent some time yesterday getting everything cleaned up because I had parts and pieces and stuff everywhere. I got it cleaned up here. I got the setup bench cleaned up in the house, just getting things sorted back in order. Sorted back in order? Does that make any sense? Anyway, we're getting ready to settle in for the next projects. At this exact time, I'm not 100% sure what that's going to be. I got a leather working project that I want to tackle. I don't think that's going to be too bad. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do that one yet for a video, but that's something I've been thinking about. There's some guitar tools that I've been playing around with. I want to make those. See if I can at least get a working test version of those done. A couple things I want to do for the house. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm at the step right now where I've been trying to get these done, and I've let a lot of things pass because I've been focused on this. But now that these are done, I gotta reel everything back in and get back to business. So I'd love to hear from all of you. If there's a project or something that you'd like to see me do, does not have to be guitar related. So if there's something you're interested in, definitely let me know. I got a potential commission project coming up. Just waiting for final approval on that, as to whether or not I'll be moving forward. But that would be kind of a fun one for a video. But yeah, there's just a lot of things. Oh, I got to do the diesel heater, but that's going to be a video when I go through that and get that serviced and back up and running. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I need to do. But I'd love your feedback. Like I said, if there's something that you'd like to see, let me know, and we'll see if we can work it in there, or something that maybe something that you'd like to tackle and you'd like to see someone else do it first. I'll be the guinea pig, depending on what it is. But yeah, let me know. I'd just love to hear your feedback and different ideas, if you had any. If not, that's totally cool. Robert says, Malteser are made by the Mars, Canada. Interesting. Sam says, you could make a unique guitar-shaped pedal cycle with a YouTube channel name on it. Homemade bike, that'd be kind of fun. I don't quite have the facility. I don't know what you'd need for it. What would you need? You just got to weld some tubes together. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun, though. Michael says, I'm here in PA in my shop, working on my shop mahogany guitar, fighting the bolts in the neck. Even made the hole a little wider. My hands are still too big. Going insane. Is that, I'm trying to remember. That was an acoustic, correct? I believe, if I remember correctly. What I had to, you clarify, and then I got some thoughts. Was that an acoustic, and you're trying to get the bolts through the neck block? Robert says, have you ever made any leather guitar straps? Robert, I have. I made a very simple one, just a single strip of leather. The guitar straps that I want to build are 2 layers, and then you stitch them together. The reason I haven't done that yet is because you know how long a guitar strap is, I have to stitch all that by hand because I don't have a leather sewing machine. So that would be less than fun. But I would love to I'd love to be able to make a new guitar strap and actually glue 2 pieces together and do all the stitching and stuff around there. But the ones I did were very simple, 1 strip of leather, and I use them. They work fine. But that is a project that at some point I want to revisit. Definitely making new guitar straps. Michael says all mahogany, not shop mahogany. He says, yes, it's an acoustic. Okay, so what I'm assuming you're fighting with is getting the bolts through the inside, right? Where you got to reach through there and you're going to get the bolt started in there. Especially on my first build, I had to take a round file and I had to adjust those holes because apparently when I drilled those holes, I had something out of whack. And I'm assuming, I could be wrong. I'm assuming that's what you're struggling with, trying to get those bolts to line up with the threaded inserts in the neck block. And if that's exactly what it is, then I feel your pain because I definitely have been there. Even on my second acoustic, I still had to do some adjustments, but it wasn't quite as bad as on the first one. The first one, like I said, I had to take a round file. I don't have one handy here. And I had to, once I determined kind of the angle, that what am I trying to say? I kind of figured out that, which way I needed to adjust the holes. And I just really went to town and I had to open up those holes quite a lot to get the angles to match that neck block. Even so much so that I was a little bit worried that I was somehow weakening the piece. I mean, I had to open them up a lot. But I don't know what kind of bolts you're using. I used, those big round head Allen bolts, so you've got lots of material. It's almost like having a washer on the end of your bolt. It wasn't anywhere near the size of the washer, but just take your time and use a round file. That's what I used anyway. And I just file, get in there, open up that hole. Mine ended up being kind of oval shape by the time I was done so that, I could get everything to line up. And it was super frustrating. So I feel your pain, my friend. I feel your pain. But you'll get it. Just go slow. Try to keep that, that hole on the inside small enough, of course, so to where the bolt doesn't pull through. Just keep at it. What I found was chalk, right? So if you get some chalk, and I tried to chalk the bolts so that when I put them in, I could see maybe where it was rubbing, to kind of help give me an idea of where I needed to remove some material. And that helped. It was a little tricky still, because it didn't always leave a chalk mark on there. But, you might give it a try. Just smear some chalk on the threads of the bolt, and if you leave the neck pulled out a little bit, maybe you can, thread the bolt through and sort of line it up, and maybe it'll leave a chalk mark and you can see. Those are just some things that I did, but I really resorted to just filing the holes so that I could get everything to line up. It was frustrating and it took me a long time, but you'll get it. You'll get it. And I can tell you on my second one, it was nowhere near as bad because, whenever you encounter something like that, right? It's a frustrating, what am I trying to say? A frustrating time like that, we're learning, right? We're learning and we're building that pool of knowledge so that the next time around, some of that knowledge helps you do better the second time. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I know my second one still had to adjust, but it was not anywhere near the amount I did on the first one. So just take your time, go slow, you'll get it. Michael says, yes, it's a nightmare. Never did a bolt-on before. Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. It just takes some time. Like I said, I've been there. My first one was the worst. The second one was a little bit better. And the third one, which I'll get to maybe, I don't know, maybe this winter, maybe next spring. I'm sure it'll be better yet. Robert says, my brother used to make a lot of leather work. He made a lot of holsters and holster belts for Old West style pistols. That sounds cool. Oh, that's another thing I need to make. I do need to make a belt. The leather belt that I've been wearing myself for the last 22, 23 years. Been wearing the same belt. Has finally started in a couple spots the leather to wear and tear. So I now need to replace that. So that's another project I got to get to at some point. Thanks for reminding me of that, Robert. I got to make sure that's on my list. Michael says, sounds good. I'm going to get to it. Thanks, Jeff. Michael, you're welcome. You'll get it. Like I said, I know the frustration that you're feeling, but just keep at it. Go slow. Do the best you can to try to, figure out which way those bolts need to go. You'll get it. You'll get it. And when you do, it'll be mighty satisfying. I know that. Robert says he did a lot of tooling on them. Made what is known as basket weave pattern. Yes, basket weave is pretty cool. And I did recently get some leather stamps, for like tooling and stuff. So that's something that I want to play around with. Like a simple basket weave kind of pattern and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I've got a giant list of things. I just got to figure out what it is that makes sense to tackle next. Sam says it's safe to pull your neck out a bit. Sam said 23 years? Yikes. Yes, I have had this belt for a very, very long time. It's crazy. I am impressed. I'm impressed that it's held up that long. Robert says, I have 2 of his holsters he made. I bought at an auction. Put on at one of our family reunions. He passed away early this year. I'm sorry, Robert. That's cool you have some of his stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, those are the things you want to hang on to. All right. So, there's another thing. Talking about projects. I think I mentioned last week or maybe the week before, I got some the farrier's rasps. I've been thinking about making a knife or something out of those. So that's also something else that I want to try. There's just so many, I don't know about you, there's so many things that that I want to try. So many things that I want to do. And how do you choose? How do you choose? Do you guys do you just go with whatever pops up? I'm curious as to how all of you tackle projects like that. A lot of times it's just on depends on, for me, what do I have on hand at the time that fits in with the project, and that's kind of how I choose. But I don't know. We'll see. Now that these are done, like I said, that's been my focus. That has been my focus literally the entire summer. Now they're done. Now I got to get some people to play them. Try them out. So let's see. What else do we have here? Trying to think. I don't know. Would that be dead air? What a poor host, huh? It's definitely it's kind of a cool feeling, actually, a cool spot to know that I've been working on these for as long as I have, and now there's 2 of them sitting here, and I almost can't even believe it. Even though it's nothing new to build a guitar, but I don't know what it is. Something about these just seems surreal. I don't know if surreal is the right word, but it's very satisfying. Let's just put it that way. Sam says 22 Celsius here in the UK. What are we at? I can't see my thermometer. I can't see what it says. I don't know what we're at. I need to get a different thermometer, one that I can have like right here, like right next to the phone, so I don't have to look way over there and try to squint and see. I've been noticing my eyes are not what they once were. I know I got to squint and do that a lot more. So I'm gonna have to get to the eye doctor and give me some specs or something. I guess that comes with the territory. Getting to that point now. So probably I'll probably end up having to use some in some of the videos, because there's been times where I gotta, like, trying to read the the ruler or whatever. Kind of stinks. Sam says, none of us are getting any younger. Nope. There's not a single person on this earth that's getting younger. And my eyes definitely are not either. I can say that for sure. I'll have to, I'm going to have to get them things checked out. I'm sure of that. I'm not looking forward to it, but yeah. I wish I knew how to play bass a little more. It definitely is fun. I wish I knew how to do that slap stuff. I had a friend of mine played bass in a couple of the bands that I was in. And he could, the slap pop stuff, man, he was killer at it. It was awesome. Sam says, if you get glasses, go for the Harry Potter style. Those round things. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see, though. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need glasses. Anyway, right on, guys. Well, what else? Yeah, what else? Anybody got anything else? Questions, comments, suggestions? Before we before we wrap this up here shortly, Harry Dude says 2 different strength glasses, magnifying glasses on desks and workbenches, and those toilet seat looking lights on stands with magnifying glasses in them. Getting old sucks. Oh yeah, those, I never thought about that. It does. It looks like a toilet seat, and you look through the. It's a good idea, actually. I should get one of those. The other day when I was wiring these up, there was, once you get some wires in that control cavity, it kind of gets a little bit congested. I was trying to make sure that I had everything. I usually wrap the wire before I put the solder, and I couldn't figure out. But it didn't feel right, and I had to get a magnifying glass, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, all right, and then there's the deal. And yeah, a little magnifying glass, but a little toilet seat that you just swivel over. Might not be a bad idea, actually. I should have one out here too. I don't need one out here as much, especially for setup stuff. I feel like I need things the most. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I showed this. This is not sponsored or anything, but this is the finish that I used on this guitar. And I don't know if you can tell the gloss. It's just a nice satin finish. This Osmo top oil. I know Paul had already left, but Paul had asked about this finish. Really, it's worked awesome, and I think I'm gonna try this on a few other builds. I think I want to try this on an acoustic as well. I think it would work really well. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot. But just in case anyone was curious, like I said, I know Paul had asked about it. Osmo Top Oil. This is the high solids, and it's the clear satin. The 3045 Osmo is what's on these instruments. The neck, as well as on the body. And so far, I really like this stuff. If you're looking at using it, definitely test on scrap. Something I did test, but I didn't test enough to really understand how it worked. I basically, applied it to the test piece and said, oh yeah, that's gonna be fine. And then applied it to this. A little bit more to it than that. But yeah, just in case anyone was curious, like I said, I'm not sponsored by Osmo or anything, but so far I really like it. And I like the look, I like the feel. It's just, I think it's an interesting finish to use. Let's see. Hair Dude says, I do a lot of wiring outside the body on scrap pick guards, then transplant in. Yeah, that's a good idea. Robert says, everyone have a good week and stay safe. Jimmer says, probably just need readers available at the pharmacy. Yeah, well, the thing about readers, right, I believe they're both the same prescription, but I know for a fact that my left eye is quite a bit worse than my right eye, so I feel like there needs to be some differences there. That's been like that ever since before you and I met. I remember once upon a time I had to use like drops or something in there when I was a kid. I don't even know what the deal was, but My left eye is way worse than my right eye, but I notice now my right eye, I used to be able to just look and, read with my right eye, but that's blurry. I mean, I can read it if I really mess around. If I read, there's zero chance I can read that with my left eye. Zero. Absolutely not. I can read the barcode. So there's some differences there, and that's why I'm thinking, prescription kind of deal. Anyway, Sam says, Jeff, you're a legend and do fantastic streams. Right on, Sam. Thank you. Appreciate that. But it's all because of you guys. Because if no one showed up, then I'd just be here hanging out by myself, and that'd be kind of strange. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in and making these streams the cool streams that they are. Sam says some U.S. brands are unavailable in UK. Yes, I'm aware of that. Yep. Which kind of stinks, I guess, but whatever. I don't know. It says, thanks for the fantastic stream today. Robert says, have you seen or used Odie's oil? It was originally used for basketball court floors. Yes, I have. I've not used it, but I'm very familiar with the brand, and I believe it is a similar type of finish as this. This one's supposed to be made for countertops and things, so it's a little bit different than some of the other Osmo that I've used before. I think I like this better for stuff like this because it does give a bit of a gloss. The ones that I've used before, I don't know, it wasn't as thick. It wasn't as high solids, as they say, and it just kind of soaked into the wood, which felt awesome and still looks cool. But I think I like this one better for this sort of thing. Test on scrap. That's all I can say. Heritage says, catch you later, folks. See you all next week. Right on, everyone. I'm going to wrap this up. And, yeah, we've got to get to it. We've got to get to building the next thing, whatever the next thing is. So thanks to all of you for taking some time and hanging out here. I really appreciate all of you. Make sure you go check out the video for finishing up this base if you haven't seen it yet. And share, like, share, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Help spread the word. I appreciate you guys. And we're going to get out of here. So everyone, have a good one. Sam says, be safe. Drizzy Guitars just says, cheers. Right on. Thanks again, everybody. Stay safe. Stay well. Get out in your shops. Build some cool things. Doesn't have to be guitars, but just have some fun. Make some things. Enjoy the outdoors. Whatever it is, hope you get to do what you enjoy doing. Till next time, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you later as I put my hand in front of the thing. Later, everyone. Take care. Thank you.